Welcome everyone to another startup and automobile document. What we have here is a 2021 Jeep Wrangler Unlimited Rubicon. This Wrangler Unlimited is painted in bright white with a color-matching Freedom Top modular hardtop roof. Now this one has been modified with a Mopar lift kit, Fox shocks, a winch, etc. You have smart key access for the front doors. On the key, you've got the buttons for lock, unlock, remote start and panic. Both removable front doors have storage nets, power windows, locks, and mirrors. This Rubicon has a black interior with McKinley leather seat upholstery and Rubicon red contrast stitching. Both front seats are manually adjusted. And this has the EcoDiesel 3-liter turbodiesel V6 engine in it. And now that we're behind the wheel, let's go ahead and start that engine up. It does have push-button ignition. With roots that can be traced back to the US military Willys MB Jeeps of the 1940s, the Jeep Wrangler is what many consider to be the gold standard when it comes to going off-road. The Wrangler was introduced for model year 1987 as the direct replacement for the Jeep CJ, which itself had been produced by numerous different companies since the 1940s when it was introduced as a civilian version of the military Jeeps. Ever since '87, the Wrangler, and Jeep as a whole, have been under the umbrella of Chrysler. As of the 2024 model year, the Jeep Wrangler is currently in its 4th generation, and to this day still features true body-on-frame construction, solid axles front and rear, along with legendary hallmarks such as removable doors, a removable roof, and even a foldable windshield which dates back to the 1940s military Willys MB Jeeps. This 2021 model represents the Wrangler's 4th and current generation, codenamed JL, which made its debut for the 2018 model year. Like the outgoing JK Wrangler, the JL generation is offered as both a short-wheelbase 2-door model and a long-wheelbase 4-door model known as the Wrangler Unlimited. In addition, 2020 marked the introduction of the Jeep Gladiator, which is a crew cab pickup truck based on the JL Wrangler. In the following years, more powertrains for the JL Wrangler were introduced, such as the EcoDiesel V6 for 2020, along with the 4xe plug-in hybrid and the 392 Hemi V8 for 2021. The US market 2021 model year Wrangler lineup was quite vast, from the bare-bones sport trims to the top-end Rubicon, along with many special edition trims as well. Now when it comes to going off-road, every JL Wrangler is great at it, but the Rubicon is the trim you'll want if you want the absolute best capability the Wrangler has to offer. It most notably comes with Dana 44 axles, locking front and rear diffs, and a disconnectable sway bar. The engine lineup for 21 Wranglers was pretty expansive as well. There's the 3.6-liter Pentastar V6, a 2-liter Turbo 4, the 4xe plug-in hybrid, the 392 Hemi, and of course the torquey EcoDiesel V6 like this one has. Transmissions, all depending on trim and configuration, include either a 6-speed manual or an 8-speed auto. Rubicons come standard with Jeep's Rock-Trac 4-wheel drive system. So the instrument cluster has 2 analog gauges, which are your tachometer and speedometer, and the rest is located in this large digital info display, which can be gone through via these buttons on the steering wheel. You have your speedometer, vehicle info, various auxiliary gauges, tire pressures, that kind of thing. Got your off-road screen, so pitch and roll, fuel economy, trip computers, settings, that kind of stuff. It has a 4-spoke design, leather-wrapped and multifunctional steering wheel, red color contrast stitching. And as for controls, first the front of the spokes, you have your information display controls, along with your Bluetooth and voice commands. And then on this side you have your cruise controls. And then on the back of the spokes you have your audio controls. The steering wheel is tilt and telescopic, and it is also heated. Headlight switch, panel dimmer, climate vent for the driver, grab handles on both A-pillars. On this side is your high beam and turn signal stalk, and on this side is your wiper stalk. Going down the center of the interior, you have a little bit of storage up top. You have your touchscreen, a UConnect Infotainment system. We'll go over that more in a bit. Central climate vents. You have some physical radio controls, and then you've also got your dual zone automatic climate controls, heated steering wheel, and 3-stage heated front seats. Hazards. You can mute the audio system, your auto start-stop toggle, traction control toggle, parking sensors, and this is for your select speed, which is like a low-speed off-road cruise control. Below that we have a 12-volt power outlet, an aux port, as well as a USB A and C port. Right here are your power window controls. You have 4 aux switches, so you can hook those up to any aftermarket light bars you might have. You have your 4-wheel drive lever. You have 2 high, 4 high, neutral, and 4 low. You got your axle locker, so you can lock the rear diff or both the front and rear diffs. Off-road plus mode, you can connect or disconnect your sway bar. Going into reverse does reveal a backup camera with guidance lines. The parking brake is hand operated. Cup holders. You have a 2-tiered center console, USB port in there, and the glove box is lockable. Both sun visors do have vanity mirrors and lights. You also have garage home link on the driver's one, auto dimming rear view, passenger airbag indicator, your roadside assistance, and then with these levers you can remove your roof panels. Alright, so here's a brief overview of that UConnect touchscreen infotainment system. And we're on the radio screen. You have AM, FM, Sirius XM, plus Bluetooth audio streaming. Sound settings, that kind of stuff. Then we go to climate. Now you can control all the climate controls, your temperature on both sides, where the air's coming out, fan speed, and then this controls button right here brings you to your heated steering wheel, heated seats. You can control from here as well. You can bring up your backup camera without going in reverse. Now for apps, we got all sorts of stuff. Sirius XM Travel Link, so you bring up local fuel prices. Movie theaters, what movies are playing, local weather. Really nice stuff to have. Sirius XM, or the weather map. That's just one of the apps. This one's really cool. You have off-road pages. You know, your SRT high-performance Dodge muscle cars, Challengers, Chargers, they tend to have their performance pages. Well, here we got off-road pages. You actually have your real-time steering angle, accessory or auxiliary gauges, and then your pitch and roll. That's pretty awesome to have. Navigation. That's really cool. You pair your phone, and then you go to all sorts of settings. But I've always been a fan of the UConnect infotainment systems. They seem to be very easy to get used to and responsive. But now we will go ahead and roll down the driver's window and take a look at the engine bay. Both front windows are automatic down. So this one's got aftermarket wheels, which consist of 37-inch tires from BF Goodrich and 18-inch Black Rhino alloy rims. This Wrangler is equipped with the EcoDiesel 3-liter turbodiesel V6 engine. It has an iron block with aluminum heads along with dual overhead camshafts, 4 valves per cylinder, and common rail injection. Horsepower is rated at 260 at 3600 RPM, while torque is rated at 442 pound-feet from 1400 to 2800 RPM. The transmission is an 8-speed automatic with manual shiftability, and this Rubicon comes with Jeep's Rock-Trac part-time 4-wheel drive system. Running on diesel fuel with an 18.3-gallon fuel tank, EPA estimates for a Wrangler like this one are 21 mpg in the city and 26 mpg on the highway. It has Dana 44 solid front and rear axles as well as 4-wheel disc brakes. Curb weight for this one rounds up to roughly 4,900 pounds. It can also tow up to 3,500 pounds. Fuel cap is on the driver's side. And the back removable doors also have storage nets. (60/40) split folding rear seats. The front seats do have mat pockets in the backs. Rear passengers do get their own set of climate vents with 2 USB-A and 2 USB-C ports, as well as a household-style power outlet. Individual power window controls being here instead of on the doors. And not to mention, you have a folding center armrest with 2 cup holders. This thing has an Alpine sound system with that subwoofer back there. It sounds great. Grab handles on the B-pillars as well. And as for space back here, I'm about 6'1". I put the driver's seat in a pretty comfortable position for myself. Legroom is pretty good. Headroom's really good, actually. No problem with that. It's decently comfortable. I wouldn't call it cavernous or like a limousine or anything, but you know, it's more comfortable and spacious than like the 2-door Wrangler. Single exhaust, rear wiper, cargo space in the Wrangler Unlimited is 31.7 cubic feet. Folding down the rear seats increases that figure to 72.4 cubic feet. That's sub. But anyhow, thanks for checking out this tour of this 2021 Jeep Wrangler Unlimited, and as always, stay on the lookout for future tours.